Here we go, kids. Good morning. Good morning. Let's set this up. Receiving my content. Good morning, kids. Good morning, children. Let's see. It is Wednesday, September 13th already. And here we are on both channels, YouTube and Facebook. Soon we're going to be moving out of there, but that's just how it goes for now. So I really want to talk today a lot about our individuality that we seem to be losing a lot in this community. And I have white coffee, and I'm a little early because I have so much happening that I just seem to run out of time in the daytime. You know that feeling? It feels like there's not enough time. And thank you very much, Stacy. I completely forgot to grab the link when I came on. So, good morning, kids. Today I want to make sure that we really have a discussion about what it means to be an individual before we get pushed off. Good morning, Sarah on YouTube. Good morning, Stace and Danielle and Angel and Tony and Halden. My wake and bake friend. And well, the one good thing about actually having the Facebook stream as well as the YouTube is that at least we still have the conversation when we finish. Because good morning, Crystal. It doesn't stick on YouTube, but I'm working on figuring that out because I do believe that it is important that we can look back on people's questions and the interaction that we. Because sometimes I look at the video after and you can't really see what's going on YouTube like you can here. My voice is sleepy because I just woke up. This is the third cannabis party in a row that I had to do every night. Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night. I am so tired of cannabis parties. I can't, like, seriously, my job sometimes is pretty insane. So last night I went to a party where we ate food that had cannabis in it. We drank drinks that had cannabis in it, and we smoked gigantic, huge cigars that were cannabis. And I was like, done from that. So that's why I sound sleepy, because I still have the residue of the cannabis party. My life is a big cannabis party. Oh, hi, Sunette. I miss you too in Bangkok. I hope to come back soon. I love Bangkok. It was so great. I really enjoyed it, but I just need to let you guys know I'm going to be going to Asia in February, and I can't wake and bake. I can't do it. Hi, Diana. Good morning, afternoon from the UK. I'm so jealous. Well, cannabis will be legal in the UK soon. We're working on that too. A lot happening. So I don't like waking up still feeling stoned. It's not my life, but I have to do it because now I have to network so much, because in January, all the laws around cannabis are changing. So everyone's getting into the game right now. So I'm a little guy in the cannabis world, and I have to stay as much in that as possible, or I'll get kicked right out by all the big players who have so much money you guys can't even imagine. There's so much money in cannabis right now. So if you're thinking about investing, come to me, because my company is looking for investors too. So don't go to those big guys. Come to little guys like us who are really important in the game, because we keep the gay, the LGBT, the queer in the cannabis game. We have to keep in the cannabis game or we're going to be knocked right out. So does everybody have their coffee this morning? And don't forget, these are available now. The V cups are available. I'll post the link in the forum so you guys can see. And I made them as inexpensive as possible. So I hope that, I can't remember how much they are. They're less than 20 bucks, I think. Oh, hi, Alex. How you doing? I'm still here, but having a hard time with my manager. You need to get a new job, Alex. I know that's a difficult thing, but you don't need to be abused every day. Every single day that you're abused at your job is not okay. And it doesn't seem like anyone's really doing anything there. Thanks, Stacy, for posting the link. Okay, so it looks like we have a lot of people coming on board right now. And so what I've been having a lot of discussion about, and I do it on my live Instagram at night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I always go on to my Instagram, usually if I'm home, and we talk also about individuality. You're on disability, Alex. Oh, yeah, so it's difficult to get a job. So Another new hat. People give me hats. If you give me a hat, I'll wear it on here. This is a hotel I stayed at when I was in Tel Aviv, which is a beautiful, amazing city, and Israel is a beautiful and amazing. If you have the chance, please go. Hi, Ty. Don't be sorry, Ty, that you're busy. You should be busy, and if you're busy, don't worry about this. This is just your thing. It's not. No, stay busy, my friend. Stay busy with your. Ty makes a beard lube now. It's pretty awesome. I've been using it. Good morning, Lindsay. Love you, Buck, but I'm cis, but I love what you. It doesn't matter that you're cis. We don't worry about labels and stuff here. We at the B Cup encourage everybody to come. We have no weird thing about cis people. We have no weird thing about trans people. We just have no weird thing here. Every single person is invited to the B Cup. We talk about love. We talk about everything here. What we don't do here is bully each other. What we don't do here is talk down to each other. What we don't do here is troll or bully. That's all. Those are the rules. Those are the rules. Talk. Be you. If you have something that you need to talk about it, okay? Because we will not shame you, and we will have opinions about it, okay? But we will not shame you. That is not what we do here. So you're very welcome to be here, my cis friend. We don't care. This cis thing is out of control. It's out of control. Seriously. I think it is such baby bullshit. It's baby bullshit that we had to fucking go and name, other people cisgender because you call us transgender. That's why it happened. That's why we call cisgender people now, because we had to label them in order for ourselves to feel good about ourselves for some reason. I don't see the point of it. I don't see the point of it at all. For me, it causes a divide. It causes more of a divide between us and you, and it feels like it's not coming from a positive space. Good morning, Lady Cat. Good morning, Anne-Marie. Good morning, Regilio. Anne-Marie says, in South Africa, it's early evening now. Just saw you were live and came to listen as I drink my wine. Right on, my friend. Thank you for joining us. So, somebody needs to remind me to drink my coffee, Margaret. I never remember. Look at my eyes because I'm still sleepy. I'm still so sleepy. Is this going to wake me up? I don't know. I'm not kidding. I've been smoking so much cannabis at these parties. It's ridiculous. I can't do it anymore. Diana says, human beings. We are all human beings. So here we are. Separation, Taylor. Naming cisgender people, transgender people, non-conforming. Oh. It's gotten to be so incredibly divided that we now no longer can just be. We cannot just be, okay? We cannot just be. Why not? I don't understand why not. I'm just be. I don't care. I don't care what you call me. I really don't care. But here's the deal. Why do some people care so much? Just so much that they have to label you, right? Rochelle says, good morning, Buck. You are always up so early for this night owl. I had to set the alarm. I know, but I'm in LA, my friend. That's it. So you're not even human yet after 3. I know. This is my second big-ass espresso. So that's why I think really let's talk about individuality. Individuality is you. You, your terms, your identity, the way you feel, the way you want to be, without having to have anybody in our communities, anybody around your life saying, oh, right, that's the way to identify. You got it. I never have asked anybody. I'm not kidding you. I have never asked anybody for any, not advice, any acceptance on the way that I identify. Never. I've never asked anyone, is it okay, do you think, that I identify as a man with a vagina? Do you think it's okay that I'm transsexual but I identify as a man? Do you think it's okay that I had top surgery but not bottom surgery? Do you think it's okay that I use this kind of testosterone? Do you think it's okay? What? Who does that? I hope you're not doing that, because who are you asking? And when you're asking them, who are they? What authority do these people now have over our own identity? We've given people in our community certain people, in our communities, power over us. Power over us to tell us how to identify. Do you see what I'm talking about? Do you even know that? Do you even know that? You do know that. We have given power to people in our community to tell us how to identify. Think about it. For example, when they tell Trampa, you're old, transsexual is an old word. We don't use that word anymore. Oh, really? Well, you might not use that word, but I use that word, and so do some of my friends use that word. And we also don't necessarily like to use the word cisgender. I don't particularly like the word. For me, it kind of feels it doesn't feel like it's coming from a loving space. I guess that's what I want to say. Cisgender never felt like it was coming from a loving space. It always felt to me like it was like, nah, nah, nah. You're calling us this, we're going to call you that. It doesn't come from the heart. It doesn't come from, we need to label you in order for us to be separated. Even that doesn't come from the heart. It comes from something else. And I think that's why many of us, including many cisgender people, don't specifically like the word, because the transgender community has forced that word upon you. By the way, cisgender people, do you know that? I think you do, but I want to talk about it. Do you know that this transgender world, not my world's the transsexual world, transgender world has forced a label upon you, my friends. Do you know that? My cisgender friends out there? Lindsay says, I totally understand what you mean. I've been told I can't identify as lesbian because I married a man in the past and had kids. Lindsay, really? Lindsay, and Hope, okay, somebody doesn't agree with me. Yay. Tell me why you don't agree with me. I really want to have this discussion. Honestly, I really do. It's very important for me to have this discussion. It's just my opinion, 100% only my opinion. And that, Lindsay, is what I'm talking about. Forced upon you to say that you can't be. Who said you can't be? You can be an elephant if you want to be. You can be whatever you want to be. And I understand logically you can't be an elephant. I understand that logically. But in your mind, if you want to identify as an elephant, nobody can tell you no. Nobody. They might think you're something a little bit there. They might want to give you medication, but it doesn't matter. So I want to talk to Hope. Often people think there's trans and bio. Right, and I used to use the word bio in my speaking, okay? Bio is a term shortened for the word biological. Biological can mean many things, but I would like somebody to put the definition of biological. Right. Most definitely. But here's what my conversation to you is, Hope. And this is why I particularly don't like cisgender. Because did they talk to any cisgender people before they decided to create this word? Did they? Or did they just choose this word without any kind of conversation with cisgender people? That's my point. That's my point, Hope. Did we have conversation with you, cisgender people, and say, hey, let's bring cisgender people in. Let's talk to them about why we really want to do this. Let's make it come from a loving space, okay? But it didn't come from a loving space. It came from a space of you are this and we are that. That's separation and divide, right? That's separation. So Hope says, so cis is I completely understand what the word term is, cis. I know exactly why. But I want to talk about why we decided to do it to make separation without having any conversation with cisgender people. That's what I want. And I completely understand your opinion, Hope, and I respect your opinion, but I still believe that it was a word created in order to create separation. And that is what I really don't particularly care for. And it doesn't feel like it came from a loving space. Do you think that it came? So Jerry says any word can be used pointedly or with malice. Yes. Context, intent, right? Context, intent. Remember, the word tranny comes from a space of context or intent. If you call me you fucking disgusting tranny, Trampa isn't cool with that. But if you are one of my friends and you know I like to be called a tranny, and you say, hey, my tranny friend, I'm cool with that. Context and intent. It's the same with faggot, dyke, queer, context and intent. You cannot reclaim queer without reclaiming what? Tranny. It won't work. And the reality, and this is, I'm talking about real. You can't reclaim, you can't pick and choose what words to reclaim, and you can't tell other people in a community full of thousands and millions of people that they aren't allowed to reclaim this word, but they're allowed to reclaim that word without any factual stuff. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm sorry, Hope, I missed that. So cis is a Latin term like trans is, yes. So it's not just trans and everyone else. No. I totally get it. I know why they made the word, but here's why I have a problem with it. Because nobody discussed it with cisgender people. They just made the word. And I know why they did it. Well, I don't think cis were really at the table in force until recently. Because we pushed them away, Hope. We push many cisgender people away from the trans community because we react to them in such a negative way. The way we speak down to cisgender people, the way we call them names. Do you want to be part of a community that's like that? I don't. I would walk away in 2 seconds, right? Well, I think the term bio, which is short for biological, but we must really look at what that means. Really, if you're looking at factual evidence, what does the word biological mean, right? Biologically, they're talking about DNA, they're talking about genetics, they're talking about all of these things that deal with scientific facts, right? We have to prove what facts are, because factually, I'm a man. Biologically, what am I? I mean, really, this is a real conversation, and you guys know what I'm talking about here. And in no way is it disrespectful. But let's talk about biology. And what does biology mean to you? What does biology mean to me? And what are facts? I can say I'm an elephant. I can say it all day long. I can say it. I can look at you. I can believe it. But factually, am I an elephant? Am I an elephant? This is like really important, seriously. And in no way am I downplaying the importance of labels, because some of us really feel labels are important. I don't think we can live our lives without labels, right? We can't. I don't think it's possible. So, good morning, Soren. Lady Cat says, which means that trans people are bio people. So there. And Hope says, are you referring to your chromosomes? Of course. Biological chromosomes, genetics, DNA. I like assigned X gender at birth. There you go. Sabina says, you're the elephant. I'm the elephant. Logan says, I just woke up 2 seconds ago and I was having one of those in this dream or real life moment. Tori says, biology is what proved that some people were assigned X at birth, and their biology says that they were not X. This is how so many were defined as intersexed. And there we go. Why don't we talk about intersexed people? I have many friends, actually, who are intersexed, and I worked closely for a while with an intersexed organization in order to help change the laws in the United States around birth, okay, and doctors making choices for your gender without any knowledge whatsoever, right? So what they do in the United States of America is when you're born intersexed, whatever that means on many levels, but if your genitals are male, female, whatever, mixed, everything, these people are making choices for your gender. This is dangerous behavior. Virgilia says, for me, biological is the genetics you were born with. Margaret says, if you were an elephant, you might think of changing your label from bug to bull. Lacey says, I would like some education about what cis means. Education is so... Yes! Can somebody here please post for our beautiful friend Lacey the exact definition of cisgender? Watch. You're going to see what it is here, my friend. Colton, so basically it's somebody who was born in the same identity that they identify as. So if you're a cisgender woman, you were born a woman and you identify as a woman. That's a cisgender person. The reason I'm a transsexual person is because I was born as a female and I had a sex change which I call it a sex change. It's my language. I fucking had a sex change 20 years ago when we called it sex changes. I had a sex change to a man. So that's a transsexual person. A cisgender person stays the same way they were born and lives in that same body, right? Does that make sense to you? Colton says, is it a medical necessity to make those choices? No. To make the choices of intersex. It depends. It depends. It could be, but I would say more than not, it is not medically necessary. They say this, oh, your child is born with both genitals. Oh, no, they're going to have a horrible life if we don't make them either male or female. That's the terminology that they use to parents to scare them into having the surgery in order to alter the genitals to fit into a mold. This is bad, fucked up behavior. Tony says, it's okay to label yourself if you feel the need to. Dinah says, when I was younger, I was called dyke, les, but now I'm 53. People can identify me, which is cool. I'm a lesbian, but not. Exactly. I've had many gay men, Crystal says, try to shame me as a cis woman. It was clearly insecurity. I don't even know if it had anything to do with being cis. People can just be mean and gross. And I don't know if it has anything to do with being gay or anything. Hope says, I often agree with you, Buck. I really do. But on this point, about calling cis, I feel like it's not a bad label. You make a good point about, and it's okay, my friend. I love you, the fact that you have a discussion and don't agree. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Maybe you're going to change my mind right now. I don't know. You mentioned queer. It was a slur years ago. Now me and most of my queer friends identify as queer. So maybe part of it is just being mindful when we introduce the language to people who aren't familiar. And you're right. The community hasn't done a great. Exactly, my friend. That's my point. Go ahead and identify as a queer, cis, woman, whatever. All of those labels are yours. But do not put your, belief system on me, Because I don't particularly like the word queer. Comes from my generation. But I like the word tranny. So I use the word tranny, you use the word queer. We respect each other's choices of our identity without telling me that I'm not allowed to use tranny, but you are allowed to use queer. That is not okay. That's my point. I'm using the word tranny seriously to make a point. I don't go around saying tranny. I don't do it. It's not. I'm only using it to make a point. And I'm making a point to the gatekeepers in this community. You cannot pick and choose which words to reclaim. And you cannot tell me or anybody else in this community how to speak. You cannot do it. And that's why I talk about this, Hope, and that's why I believe it is a very important conversation. Danielle says, I'm cis and very supportive of the trans community. My husband is trans. I believe we should label X as birth gender, then have the option to change it at the point. I think eventually that will come if we choose to or leave. What's the point for labeling? What's the point? Exactly. Tori says, I know so many men who were assigned female at birth and have transitioned. Many have lower abdominal scars where they had an emergency surgery at birth. Colton says, oh, and while you don't have hello comments, I wanted to say thank you. I saw you on TV when I was 10 or so, and you're who helped me. Oh, thank you, kiddo. You're 21 and 3 months on T. Congratulations. Stay focused on you, my friend, and nobody else, okay? You just take care of you. Dinah says, Lacey, that is the point of our discussion. Oh, I missed that. Hold on one second. Sorry, you guys. I have to. Thank you all. Thank you. We can educate. Yes, right on. Right on, kids. Okay. Logan says, I identify as amazing because I'm amazing. Right on. Good morning, my friends. Good morning, Ine. According to the dictionary, adjective denoting or relating to a person whose sense of personal identity or gender corresponds with their birth sex. Okay. The problem with intersex surgery and raising your child as one of or the other when they are intersexed is you can't know how your child will identify. That's the point. We cannot choose for you your identity as a child just born because your genitals don't match what the world is known. Are you kidding? That is, look at the rate. Go and look at statistics for the rate of depression, suicide, mental health stuff in the intersex world. Go look. Look at the stats. You're going to fucking be blown away at the amount of depression, triggers, PTSD, suicide within the intersexed world. It is horrifying. But we don't talk about that, do we? No, we only talk about being transgender. No, it's not like that. There are many facets, many facets of gender, of sexuality, of being. There isn't just this umbrella term. I'm not an umbrella term. Since when did we lump everything under an umbrella term of transgender? Fuck you. I am not an umbrella term. And by making an umbrella term, you erase all the rest of our desire. I just see the word suicide. What's going on, Alex? That's in large letters. Can somebody please have a conversation with Alex right now? So, are you asking for help, Alex? Oh, I see what you're saying. You were commenting. Yes, a high rate of suicide in intersex. Okay? So Jerry says people start... I'm worried about you, Alex, so I'm paying attention to you, my friend. People start gendering babies in the womb. Exactly! Good point, Jerry. They do. They go and get an ultra scan, right? Right? Just leave, Alex. Leave. Get out of that toxic environment. Listen, I want to know, is my baby a girl or a boy? But your baby might be an elephant, my friend. You can't tell what your baby is. And that's the thing is, we immediately go to the gender. We immediately, is it a boy or a girl? This is a big deal. This is a big deal. I want to be a man. I want to be a boy. That's my choice. But it was my choice. Nobody else's choice. Nobody else's choice at all. And why are we letting people make choices for us? We can't let people make choices for us. And even more fucked up is, thank you, Sabina, why is the community making choices for us? Why are we okay with the community making choices for us? Why are we letting the community say, oh yeah, transgender is an umbrella term for everybody else? What? Yeah, it doesn't mean it's right. It's dogmatic. Right on, Crystal. Why are we letting the transgender community, say we are under an umbrella? What's an umbrella term? Basically, an umbrella term is erasing all the other terms and shoving you under a fucking blanket. No! And saying other terms aren't as important as the one and only transgender word. The one and only powerful transgender word. You have been appointed a transgender. What? You are a human being, people. You are not a transgender. That sounds like some kind of drink. A transgender. What, Elliot, the community has been pushing us backwards. It is shameful what we do to each other. Lady Cat, time to find a new place to live, love. I'm sorry, Alex. Sending my love. Yeah, you just need to get out of there, Alex. Seriously. A cisgender friend of mine recently posted she's tired of people posting about gender reveals when pregnant, when it should be genital reveals. This is true. So, like male or female umbrella terms, but specifically I'm talking about the transgender world. Because look, when you say transgender is an umbrella term, what does that say to you? It says to me that all other terms have been erased and are second, third, fourth of importance above and below, the word transgender. No, that's not true. My terminology of transsexual is just as important as the term transgender. It doesn't go underneath transgender. Queer doesn't go underneath transgender. Bisexual, gay, lesbian does not go under the term transgender. That's bullshit behavior that we've been forced to live under. Logan says, Alex, I was recently sad when I had to leave my job. There are a lot of things to children against their choice, like circumcision. Colton says, which is why people like to equate and use as fuel otherkin to transgender people. Not to bash on otherkin. Is that a new term, Colton? Because I don't even know that term. Otherkin, but I don't think it goes hand in hand with transgender. They get referred to as trans species by people who want to use them to make fun of. What? Colton, what? Are you guys reading this? Is that real, Colton? So wait a minute. There's a whole bunch of new terminology. So does all that terminology go under the umbrella of transgender, Colton? Colton says, which is why people like to equate and use as fuel other kin to transgender. Wow. Wow. We have new terms, you guys, and I'm lost. Tori says, when I use transgender as an umbrella term, it means that there are both trans men. Yes, and that's fine. But it doesn't mean transsexual is under that term, which they have told me. Oh, transsexual doesn't, we don't use that anymore. That goes under the umbrella term of transgender. No. No. So Lindsay says, yeah, other kin is like when you identify as a vampire or something. What about an elephant? Where do I go? Colton says, yes, there are people who identify as animals, different species. Oh, okay, like me and an elephant. And I didn't know it was called other kin. I had no idea. But that's cool, whatever, however you want to identify. I don't really care. Go for it. But here's the deal. Call yourself whatever you want, dude. Go for it. Be it. Do it. But do not discount other people's choices of identity, saying that because they say they're other kin, they're no longer transgender. You can be transgender, transsexual, gay, straight, bi, black, green, blue, if that's what you want to be. Oh, are you coming in, my friend?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on in and just go there. I'm actually doing 1 second, you guys. I'll be right back for Mercy. So I'll just shut this.
Just a little bit. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. So I have like 5 more minutes and then I have to go. Okay. So Alex and I have messaged. Okay, you guys, thank you. Thank you for taking care of Alex. That's fucking awesome. So Buck. Please, Buck, maybe say it out loud that it's not a job, it's my apartment manager. Oh, okay. Alex said it's not his job, it's his apartment manager that's bullying him. Don't worry, Alex. We're going to have people reach out to you right now and take care of you and help you, okay? So Crystal says, people who feel the need to categorize people like a genre come across as clearly uneducated, which is most of the transgender community as far as I'm concerned. There's so much insanity. This desire. Rochelle says, if parents let their child make the circumcision decision for themselves when they are old enough, they will not. Clearly. I also have been working with a guy who made a film about circumcision. It's a beautiful, amazing documentary that should be out soon, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. Soren says, labels are for fruit. People always want to put others in a box. It's our responsibility as human beings to understand that we are singular individuals what speaks to us is who we are. Exactly. Regilio says, wow, we need to act on this, Alex. Okay. Jerry says, I use trans as umbrella. That includes tranny, bio, stud. And good for you, dude. That's my point. You use it. You use it. I don't use it. And I don't care. And that's your thing. And that's my thing. And that's it. I have a Camaro. You have a Firebird. It doesn't matter to me, dude. Drive your car like I drive my car. Don't drive your car like I do. I don't really care. All I care about is you stay safe, you stay sane, you stay focused. That's all I care, and that's all any of us should care about. We shouldn't really give a shit about what your terminology is or how you identify. That's not anybody's fucking business. If I tell you I'm an elephant, I'm a fucking elephant. Respect my elephantness, because that's what I want to be. Stop telling me that I'm not an elephant. Stop telling me that my elephant fits under an umbrella term. Stop telling me that I can't be an elephant because I am blue and not gray. Stop telling me that I can't be an elephant because I don't know how to walk like an elephant. Stop it. Who are you? Are you an elephant expert? Even an elephant expert can't tell me that I'm not an elephant. They can't, because it's what I believe and what I know. And it's a real thing. So this idea that we now take all of our own identities and formed an umbrella term is upsetting to me. It is awesome that you use it and you choose to use it in that and that. But we are all being forced to use it. It is not a consensual idea that we all came to this idea and said, yes, let's take a vote from the whole transgender community and let's say this is an important topic and this is an important way. We never did that. It was the gatekeepers of this community. There are gatekeepers in this community, and they are the ones who said, let's change this now so that we can control this environment that is going to grow like gangbusters. And it did. And it's growing and growing and growing and growing with no love. It's growing with control. It's growing with ideology. It's growing with anger. It's growing with resentment. It's a community that is growing out of what? What is it growing out of? Toxic behavior. That's what I believe. No, exactly, Jerry. No language policing. It's BS. Colton says, no, don't get me wrong, Buck. I totally want people to identify how they want. Oh, no, I don't, Colton. But since it's been ingrained in our heads that no, it's all good, dude. You do that, my friend. You do that, right? Go ahead. Identify. And in no way am I anti that at all. I don't care about however anybody here identifies. It means nothing to me. It's not my life. I don't care. I really don't. I care about being told how to identify. That's my point. I care about the fact that we have a lot of vulnerable people in this community who all of a sudden get attached to these gatekeepers and get attached to these toxic behavior people. And I am using the word toxic because that actually is toxic, right? When you tell people how to be and that they can't be and that you force them into an identity, not we, because I'm not part of that. They have started to force people in this community to identify the way they want you to identify, not how you want to identify. Think about it for a minute, what I just said. This community has forced you to identify the way they want you to identify, not how you identify. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's not community, people. That's a cult. And I will say it every day. Cult behavior is this. You can join the club, but you have to speak like us. You have to use our terminology. You cannot speak that other way. You must give up all of the friends outside over there so that you can only focus on us here. When you see people who aren't dressing, speaking, talking the way we talk, you must call them out. When you see them and they're coming against us and they're speaking out against us, you must inform us so that we can attack them. You don't think that that's the transgender community right now? Tell me. I want to know. Speak to me. That's what I see. It's what I see. James says, I've had enough of people telling me who I am from the time I was born. I don't listen to my family, so dang sure I'm not going to listen to these ads. But you are woke, my friend. There are people in our community who are not woke. There are very vulnerable people in our community who get sucked into this ideology and this idea that their way is better than our way or your own way. This isn't about us. This is about your own individual idea of who you are. And so if you go into a place that says, oh, come and join our club. But in our club, this is how we interact. We don't use these words. We don't use these words. We only look this way. You can only do these kinds of things. You can only speak this kind of way. Now, if I take the word transgender out of it and I put the word Scientology into it, do you see any identical? Do you see some identical things happening there? I do. I see the same form of behavior that they do in places where they want to control you. It is identical, the same type of behavior that's happening in our community. Telling us how we can be. What is the word we don't use anymore? What? Who said we don't use those words anymore? I really want to know who these people are. Cults prey on the most vulnerable souls. Exactly. And guess what the transgender community is? Vulnerable souls. We have so many youngsters coming into this confused, am I trans? They're asking me. If their identity is real. Are you kidding me? First off, you shouldn't even be asking another person that. You should be in therapy. You should be in some type of situation where you have a person who is versed on what's going on with you, who can help you walk through this situation. Not a bunch of community cult people who will tell you, yeah, dude, you are. Come and join us. And we'll help mold you into the person that we think you should be, not what you should be. And that's why they look for those vulnerable souls, because they want more of them. Because the more of them that they have around them, the more that they can make themselves feel that what they are doing is right. You understand what I'm saying? I don't care how many people show up to the B Cup. I don't give a fuck how many people talk to me. I don't need your approval, and I don't do this in order to create more of me. I don't want more of Bucks running around. That's ridiculous. They do. They want more of them running around. Because the more of them that they have running around, the more control they have, and the more they can say, see, this is who we are. They have created a community out of what? Control. They have not created a community out of love and acceptance. They have not created a community out of, let's come and let's help each other become individuals. You understand what I'm saying? Fear. It's fear-based. It's all fear-based, Sabina. It's all fear-based. Let me ask you this question. Do you feel fearful when you come to the B Cup? Do you feel fearful when you come on in the morning with your cup of coffee, sitting down in front of the computer? It should be mandatory. Mental health should be mandatory before hormones. I agree with you 100%. Listen, do you feel like you're forced to come here? Do you feel like, oh my God, if I say something, I'm worried someone's going to jump on me? Do you feel like I can't say I'm an elephant here? Do you feel that you say that you can't be, you're scared to come in here today, but you're going to... No, Sabina, of course not. Because guess what? That's what a community is. You come in the door, you get your coffee, you sit down, you never feel intimidated to be, good morning, Lauren. You never feel. That's because that's what a community is about. It's what a community is about. It's about getting coffee. It's about sitting down. It's about listening to you and you listening to me. It's about giving each other space to talk. It's about giving each other a space with zero agenda, zero anything. The only rules and regulations we ever put on anybody here is no bullying, no trolling. That's it. Have respect. That's all. Have different opinions. Please have different opinions. It is so important that you break through the fear of saying something because you're worried about being attacked. You will never be attacked here. You will only have conversation with me. Okay? Especially if you disagree with me. That gets me like, yes, bring it on. Let's figure it out. Maybe you're going to change. I've had my mind changed in here. 100% I have. I'm willing to go. I'm willing. I am so open-minded about everything. That's what I want to teach us. I think you are too, or you wouldn't be here. You are allowed today to believe that you are an elephant, and then maybe somehow speaking to other people, you've decided, actually, maybe I'm not really an elephant. Maybe I'm actually a monkey. You're allowed to do that. In your whole life, you are allowed to do that. In your whole life, you are allowed to change your clothes every day. In your whole life, you are allowed to walk through the door with your hat on, with your hat off. With no mustache, with a mustache. You're allowed to continually evolve. That's called evolving. Look at me a year ago. I look different. I'm older. I'm a little, probably, I hope, a little wiser and a little more mature. You grow. And the only way you grow is by continually challenging your ideas and your thoughts and the way that you walk the world. And who am I? Who am I? What am I? I don't need you to tell me who and what I am. I don't need a community of people to tell me who and what I am. I need myself to tell me who and what I am. And the only way you'll ever know who and what you are is by walking the world, bumping into things, falling down. It's real. If you don't do those things, you will never grow. You won't. You have to fall down to grow. You have to say not bad things, but you have to say things that might not necessarily be the thing. And then you learn from that. You're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. And that's why. Or maybe you should have said that and it doesn't matter what people say to you. Tranny, tranny, tranny. I get reamed for saying that every day. I will never stop saying it. It is my word, my identity, and who I am. You cannot tell me that my identity cannot be tranny. It is. It is. I don't care. I will never call you that word, and you will never call me queer, because I'm not queer. It is not who I am and not how I identify. Queer is not an umbrella term. Queer is your term. It is not a term for all of us, just like transgender or just like gay or bi or black or green, whatever. Some people of color don't like to say they're black. They like to say they're a person of color. So you can't make that assumption when you walk through the room and say, hey, there's a black dude over there. You can't do that. Just like you can't say, hey, there's a trans guy over there. I don't identify as a trans guy. You can't say that. I see you, Stacy. Okay. Pull them out. I get it. So, that said, I have to go. And I hope that you understand what I'm saying today. Your identity is your identity and nobody else's. Nobody else's. Okay? Don't let people tell you how to fucking be. Thanks, Stace. It's not okay. I am not okay with it. I speak out against it every single day. You must join me. I can't be the voice of this. I can't. I can only be our voice together. We must start to speak out about this insanity in our community, or it's not going to be a community anymore. And it's close to not being a community anymore. It's close to being cult. It's very, very close. It's at the tipping point. And if we don't bring it back over here, it's done. It's done. I'm not scared to speak out. I'm not scared of any single person in this community. Ever. Will I be? Ever. Ever. Because I know who I am and what I say. And I know there's people who believe what I say. And I only do it because I love the community and I love you. I don't do it. I have no agenda. Zero. My agenda is only to free us from the shackles of gatekeepers who have told us that you are transgender whether you like it or not. Really? I'm 55 years old. My motherfucking ass came from the fucking streets of fucking crack and prostitution and cutting and suicide. And here this motherfucking old tranny stands today. Not because a bunch of young fucking kids came in and decided that it's their community now and they won't have any respect for any of us. And you think I'm just going to roll over and be like, yeah, good luck. You either better take me out or I ain't going nowhere, because that's the only way you're going to shut my voice up. And that's that. And I really hope that I can encourage you to understand not to be fearful. Do not be fearful of those trolls, because that's all they are. They're weak. They're sad. They have no direction in life. They have to use each other's bullshit behavior in order to ostracize you because they are threatened by you. If you are ever attacked by the trolls of the community, it means you're doing the right thing. It means you're speaking out and you're staying true to you. Once you stop doing that, you have now got sucked into their ideology and you are lost forever. Do not lose your individuality. You have every right to speak out. You have every right to be who you want to be. And you have every right to be. And if you're in a community that's bullying you, get the fuck out now. Okay? So there we go, kids. I have to go. Have a beautiful, awesome day. I'm going to let YouTube. I love you guys a lot. Thank you always for showing up and being part of the team, okay? Love you guys.